Hello and welcome to the weekly Global Heartstream. I'm Gabriel Gonzalez, a professional coach, artist, and speaker who enjoys traveling the world, connecting with amazing people, and talking about the longest, most rewarding journey that you'll ever embark on, the 12-inch journey between your head and your heart. Through individual and group coaching programs, online courses, and live seminars, I teach a heart-centered approach to personal mastery, leadership development, and spiritual growth that helps people become the most loving, joyful, and powerful version of themselves. The Global Heartstream is a weekly dedicated space to help you reconnect with your heart, raise your vibrational frequency, and remind you just how powerful, loving, and amazing you already are. It's also an invitation to unify our hearts with the intention of bringing more love, compassion, and healing to a world that so desperately needs it. You can find out more about my work by visiting gabrielgonsalves.com, where you can also sign up for my weekly newsletter, join the Heart Leader community, and register for my upcoming seminars. And if you enjoyed this Heartstream, please be sure to subscribe, like, or comment so that we can reach more people and help make this a more loving, compassionate, and heart-centered world. Hello and welcome to the Global Heartstream and a very happy new year. Today, Wednesday, the 4th of January, as we initiate not only a new year, but also a new cycle. Remembering that every month is an opportunity to focus on a specific theme so that we can then get a deeper understanding of that theme throughout the month. Welcome, Leela. Welcome, Irish from Shropshire. I'm sorry for mispronouncing that. Hello, Simona from Luxembourg. Hello, Amanda. Hello, Cindy's Heart. Hello, Danny in Romania. Danny, how do you say Happy New Year in Romanian? I normally have Alexa can ask questions like that. Welcome, everybody, and thank you again for being here at the very beginning of this year's broadcast. I really appreciate you and appreciate your willingness to continue to show up week after week for this appointment. Remembering that our intention is to tune in, to connect, and to energize our hearts, and then from that space, reap the benefits that come when we start energizing our hearts. All right, so I want to ask you a question as we begin this broadcast. How was your New Year's? Can you describe it in one or two words? How was this New Year's and last bit of the holiday? I know some of you are still in holiday mode. I wish I was, but I kind of, since yesterday, I moved into like full throttle in terms of my work. What about you? How was your New Year's? So, New Year's, new theme, new month. And so this month, we're going to be focusing on the theme of the heart of a leader. For those of you who are new to my work, my focus is in an area that I call heart leadership, that entails many different aspects of leadership as it relates to following your heart and ultimately following your heart's direction. Today's topic is your best year yet. And my intention is to give you to share with you actually some ideas and ask you some very powerful questions to help you do exactly that. Next week, we're going to be focusing more on this path of heart leadership. And the topic will be the way of the heart leader. On January 18th, we're going to be looking at the 9 laws of heart leadership. This is really I think the easiest way to summarize this work that I've been called to do. And then on the last Wednesday of the month, we'll be talking about adventures in heart leadership. And I have a little bit of a surprise coming in at the end of the month. So let me see what are some of the answers that came with regards to my question. Simona says she had an inner retreat. Beautiful. I'm a bit jealous, Simona. Amanda says that she had a peaceful New Year's. Danny also had a peaceful New Year's. That's wonderful. Cindy's was quiet and reflective. That's great. Sky says, I worked hard on New Year's Eve and New Year's Day painting an addition at Angel Farms. What's Angel Farms? Do they farm angels? Just kidding. Oh, man, that's wonderful. Yeah. I also had a very quiet New Year's and managed to work on a project during the day that I've been sort of putting off this whole year, and I completed it. And so I felt really good. Like I need to do this before the year comes to an end. And then I connected with friends I had not spoken with in a very long time, and then went out and welcomed the New Year's out in the streets of Granada. The Ayuntamiento, which is like the local town hall, organize a big outdoor celebration with music, and the children were there, and there's a lot of music. And they have this tradition here in Granada, well, not just in Granada, in all of Spain, where people eat with every bell of the church. They eat one grape, and so by the time you get to like New Year's, your mouth is stuffed with grapes. And then when you hug people and say New Year, you're kind of like, trying to digest them or trying to get them down your throat. It was kind of a fun custom. We used to do that, I think, also in Venezuela when I was a kid, but then somehow that tradition did not continue. Let's see. Hey, so the soul died with Lebo, my beautiful Lebo from South Africa. She said she got to facilitate a joyful soul dance. Ah, my goodness. Was that part of the Secret Sunrise? I think you call your joyful sun dance, right? It's like your own version of the Secret Sunrises. Stella says, contrasting, that it was very challenging. Yeah, for a lot of people, this can also be a very challenging time. One of my closest friends also lost his wife during this time as well. So I know people, we come to the end of this season, and for everyone, it's a completely different experience. So let me ask you, if you were able to participate in the Heartstart 2023 process that I offered as a gift to you, did you arrive at a keyword for 2022 and a theme for 2023? And if so, what was that? So in case you might be new to my work, at the end of the year, I always gift my subscribers this free Heartstart 2023 guide. It's an invitation to use these last few days of the year to look back upon the past 12 months and do some deep reflection and review, and look at what areas need to improve, what needs to let go, and reconnect or realign again with your vision. So if you haven't downloaded it yet, you're more than welcome to download it by visiting my website, gabrielgonsalves.com. You'll find it there. You should be able to see a banner that says download the free Heartstart guide. If not, I will also be putting a link in the description below this video after it's complete. So the question again, did you have a keyword that summarizes what 2022 was for you about? And did you come up with a new theme for 2023, which is also a keyword or your intention for this year? In my case, when I did the review process, I used the word in Portuguese that I learned recently. My professora Maria Franza taught me this word, is alicerces, which means foundations. So for me, the key word that summarized all of 2022 was just building a new foundation. And the theme for 2023, as I started moving into the second part of the guide, it's actually two words. It's leadership and collaboration. I see this year in which, after working pretty much as a one-man band, having a little bit of collaboration here and there, I feel like this is the year where I realized I can't continue to do things on my own. It's time to take the next or move onward to the next stage of my work and invite some of my students and people that I've been working with for the past few years, to take on some of the projects and things that I had been doing before, and then also work with increased collaboration. You know, that collaboration and cooperation is how your heart actually works. Your heart is constantly sending communication signals to every organ within the body. The master communicator. So let's see what some of you had to say about your keyword for 2022 and theme for 2023. So for Maya, it was 2022 was about growth, and then 2023 is transformation. That's wonderful. For Maya, also said 2023 is about setting boundaries and taking care of herself. That's powerful. That's an expression of self-love. Simona says last year was challenge, and then this year's theme is expansion. Emily, lovely to see you here, my beloved friend. Emily, I really want to try your bread one of these days. Emily used to, I don't know if she still does, run a very successful bakery. And we really need really good bread here in Granada, I tell you, because the majority of the bread that we have here, it's just the typical white bread that you can find anywhere. We need some really good artisan bread. For Emily was surrender, very powerful lesson. Hey, Hitartha, for him was about love life. For Stella Georgieva, welcome. Last year was a year of searching. And this year is about changes. Yeah, again, shift, transformation. Yeah, that's great. Wonderful. Someone also just commented here, Shelly Luckett. She says for her last year was challenges also, and this is a year of making important decisions. For Mariette was also growing in love. John Smiley, a miracle, a year of miracles. Yeah, wonderful. I love miracles. The truth is that once you start aligning with the energy of the heart, that becomes kind of like the everyday experience. Cindy's heart says 2022 was surrendering and challenge, and 2023 is building on simplicity and self-love, sharing. For Danny, last year was inner peace. This year is about changes. Amanda is about being present. Oh, Amanda, you're going to love today's topic then, if we ever get to it. This guy comes back and says 2022, the key word was challenges, healing, and the theme for 2023 was fulfillment of a higher purpose. Great. So you're part of a group of people, Sky, and all of you who've commented, who are really choosing to use this year and the energies of this new year to align more and more and more with your higher purpose, which I believe is inevitable the moment you start to connect and to tune in into your heart. Your heart, as scripture says, holds the key to life, holds the secret of life. It's not I that said it. It was King Solomon, believe it or not. All right, so before we dive into today's topic, I spoke about the Heart Start Guide. Please download that if you haven't done that yet. And remember that if you find these guided meditations and weekly heart streams useful and would like to express your appreciation, you're welcome to make a donation by visiting my website. Also, be sure to subscribe to the channel if you haven't already done that, and sign up to receive notifications. And whenever you're ready, here are 3 ways that it can help you become the best, most loving, and authentic and powerful version of yourself. You can register for the upcoming Heart Mastery course that begins next week, Monday, January 9th. This is the introductory level training that I do. It runs for 7 weeks. Or if you've already been following my work for a while and you want to go do a little bit deeper work, On March 6th, we begin the next installment or cohort of the Heart Warrior coaching program. It's a 9-week coaching program designed to teach you the skills of emotional self-mastery, shadow reintegration, and compassionate communication. Or if you really want to work with me this entire year and you feel that you are in a space where you would really like to take all your gifts and natural talents and use them in service of others, then sign up for the Heart Leader Training Program that begins at the end of this month. And again, all information about all these programs is available on my website, gabrielgonsalves.com. All right, let's go into today's key topic, which is about your best year yet. This is something that we all think about after completing the year. We all have hopes of a better future. We always wrap up last year, thinking, okay, I'm gonna do things differently. I want to have a different kind of an experience. I want to change. Okay, so the slowness of the season, the opportunity to go inward, the opportunity sometimes, or the contrast, rather, I would say, that we experience. Okay, I remember, for example, living in South Africa after I lost everything: my job, my mom, my money. I was robbed, and I was really going through one of the deepest, existential and depressions and I've ever had in my whole life. I remember my first Christmas in South Africa and my first New Year's alone. And that was the very first time I ever spent Christmas and New Year's alone. And during that time, I would look at people with their families and being happy. And so the contrast of having lost everything and seeing people who had what I thought was everything really provided a lot of incentive and motivation to really start creating something new. So if you have experienced something like that over the past few weeks, know that it's neither good nor bad. It's just simply learning through contrast. Sometimes we have to experience first what we don't want, so that when we can then make better choices with regards to what it is that we really want to create. And that's really what I want to invite you to consider. At the very beginning of the year, we all make these New Year's resolutions, and it's deeply ingrained in our culture. We ask, like, what are your New Year's resolution? And everybody starts out, like 100%. Everybody signs up for the gym, and you sort of make it for the first 3 weeks. You start a diet, and then you little by little go back to your old self. And the reason this happens is because you've attempted to make changes at the level of just your behavior, your habits. But there hasn't really been a deep or a conscious choice to make those changes. More often than not, the motivation is not love, but it's actually guilt or shame. I'm ashamed of all this weight that I've gained. I'm ashamed that I don't have the money that I wish I had. I feel regret that things didn't work out the way. And so that's kind of what's fueling your desire. And any time that you initiate a project out of anything less than love, the end result of the project, more often than not, is also going to match that the energy with which you started it. So that doesn't mean the project is not going to become successful, but it means that once you're complete with the project, you realize, like, this isn't good enough. And so you're going to go out. Is it like, it's the perpetual syndrome that people have, that you start changing their faces using plastic surgery. So they get a plastic surgery and then they're great, but then they look at themselves and it's not enough. And so a year later, they go back and get another surgery and another surgery and another surgery and another one and another one. Before you know it, their faces have completely been transformed. You can't even recognize the person anymore. I'm not going to speak about any celebrity specifically, but there was one, a she, that my gosh, she was one of my childhood heroes. I used to dance to her music, but I can't even recognize her anymore. So anyway, that's what happens when we make decisions from a place. So if your decision to create something is coming from guilt or shame, but you have not really been coming from a place of love, you'll never be satisfied. or find that place that, who was it? I think it was Danny was speaking about self-acceptance. So I want to invite you to consider the possibility that perhaps this year, rather than making new resolutions, instead you make a choice. And that choice is to show up every day of the year as the best version of yourself. To show up for every encounter, every relationship, every meeting, like throughout the day, year in, year out, as the best, most loving, joyful, and powerful version of yourself. If you do that, what kind of a year do you think that you're going to be creating? Now, remember the little chart I often like to show, which is this reverse manifestation process. Whatever your current results are at this moment are normally preceded by some kind of an action that you took or you didn't take. And these actions are normally preceded by the conversations that you're having, either with other people or internally. And then these conversations are normally preceded by your worldview, your perspective of the world, how you see things. And this perspective of the world is normally directly associated to where you are along this ladder of awareness or consciousness. Where are you coming from in essence? Right? Whether if you're really coming from a place of spirit, joy, peace, abundance, creativity, willingness, courage, or you're down at this bottom part of this rung of the ladder. You're operating from a place of pride, anger, fear, anxiety, guilt, shame, apathy, grief, etc. This is what I meant earlier, right? If you constantly wake up every day and you see yourself as incomplete, imperfect, and see life or your life as the glass being half full, and so you're going to always looking for it's not enough, it's not enough, it's not enough. And this is what I was speaking about earlier with regards to these plastic surgeries. It's not enough, not enough, not enough. I'm not pretty enough. I'm not good enough. And so that's what's driving you. And therefore you will never feel enough. Okay. But if you move into a place of deeper acceptance, greater compassion for yourself, acceptance and trust, moving into this place of peace and love, all these virtues that we normally associate with the heart, you're going to notice that the place from which you're coming from would lead you to have different conversations, take different kinds of actions, and therefore experience different results. Okay, another chart that explains the same thing is Dr. David Hawkins' calibrated map of consciousness. So are you making decisions? Are you making resolutions from this place of fear, not feeling good enough? Or are you making them as an expression of love for yourself? Okay, because here's the thing that happens. The moment you decide to love yourself enough to courageously go after your heart's desires, something magical begins to happen. New opportunities begin to open up. You begin to show up differently. Your universe begins to respond to you differently. That's what happens. And that's because when you align with this vibrational energy of acceptance, willingness, love, and joy, at that moment, you begin to participate in what has been traditionally known as an attractor fields that have the tendency to draw towards itself more of the like. Okay, this is why gratitude is something so important. The more you appreciate, the more you have things to appreciate. That's kind of how it works. The more you complain, the more you'll have things to complain. That's the essence of these spiritual teachings. All right, so here are 3 questions then that I want to invite you to consider or to answer. You don't have to do this right now, but these are questions that I believe are very important. If you showed up each day of this year as the best version of yourself, what kind of a year do you think you would create? If you move into each day with great self-acceptance for yourself, almost the type of acceptance that is so irreverent that says, you know what, this is who I am, and I'm okay with it. You show up from that space, from a place of what um, Steiner will call the five ways of being. You're showing up as present, real, connected, and heart directed. What kind of a year do you think you would experience? What kind of a relationship do you think you would build? The second question is, what would you love to create in 2023? Because the other question invites you to, okay, what would happen if you started showing up this way? But this one invites you to be more conscious with regards to the choices. What would you love to create? And notice that the question I'm asking you with this question is not, what would you like to create? What would society consider to be the most successful thing you could create? No, it's what would you love to create? And this question is summoning the energy of love. Okay, notice this is very different. What would you love to create, Amanda, Geraldine, Danny, Kay, Mariette, John, Cindy, Stella, Hidarta, Amelie, Simone, Maya, Shelle, Irish, Leela, Stella, my beloved Lebo, Sky, and all of you who are here with me today. Amanda, and I think I mentioned you all already. What would you love to create? Well, this is one of the reasons why I created that Hard Start 2023 guide, because it is a workbook in essence designed to help you gain some clarity. And not only that, it's designed to also help you break each one of these projects or goals into smaller tasks so you can break it down. The only way to eat an elephant is one bite at a time. And so the only way to build a vision or to manifest your vision is also one project at a time. Now, the third question is, are you willing to love yourself enough to courageously go after what your heart truly desires? So notice that wanting to create is not enough. A lot of people want. I remember my years living in Los Angeles. You meet everybody who is a wannabe, okay? Wannabe. Mariette, who's here online with us today, she wrote a beautiful children's book where there's a character who tells the other, you just want to be a bee, or, you're a wannabe, but you're not it, okay? And so wanting to be is not the same as being. So see the distinction? Want to be is like it's being hopeful. It's like just simply having the desire. And everybody wants to be an actor. Everybody wants to be a writer. Everybody wants to be a coach. Everybody wants to be that. But few people are willing to do whatever it's necessary to create that. So notice this question, it's inviting you to move into this space that I was speaking about earlier, the place of willingness. See, willingness here on the chart calibrates, according to David Hawkins, at 310, has a lot more energy, more power. But wantingness lives down here, the level of desire, which is 125. Okay, so this is still a place of just looking or seeing yourself as completely disconnected from what you want. And it's just the energy of wantingness. And now, is this energy bad? No, it's not. Okay, because it's much better to want something that, for example, to be paralyzed by fear. Okay, but you are in an even greater place of power when you make the choice, and now you're willing not just to want something, but to start going after it. But again, here's the question that I'm inviting you to consider. Are you willing to do this? To go after your heart's desires? Would you really, 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 truly, truly, truly long for to experience this next year? 100%. And as an expression of love for yourself. It's an expression of love for you. For the person that is you. For the being that is you. For the soul that inhabits your body. That, I think, is where power begins to harness, where we begin to harness great power. All right, so let's move to today's affirmations. so we can move on into today's guided meditation and inner process. So, as we begin this year, I'd like you not just to take these questions into your heart, into your process of self inquiry, but to use them as very powerful tools, because these questions are designed to wake you up, to wake you up to what is really truly happening inside of you that is seeking to express itself. So here the affirmation. I invite you to repeat each one after me. And as we normally do, we do them now from the left brain perspective, just repeating them and perhaps putting a little bit of presence and enthusiasm into them. But then during the guided meditation, we'll be doing them more from the right brain perspective. We're in a much more subjective and suggestive space where we can then use then the guided meditation as a form of hypnosis to record, to create some new neural pathways in our brains and plant these seeds. Affirmations are like seeds. Let's begin. Please place a hand over your heart and repeat after me. 2023 is a year of wonderful surprises, new friends, and true love. This is the year my dreams are finally coming true. I now choose to show up each day as the best version of myself. I believe in myself and I trust the divine plan for my life. I now choose to follow my heart 100% of the time. Miracles of healing, abundance, and success are the order of each day. The perfect vision for my life is already accomplished. Amen. And with that, I invite you now to come into the inner space and the stillness within the heart by closing your eyes. And imagine as if these affirmations that up until now have been words and forms that begin to dissolve now, and almost like rain, begin to rain upon you and begin to be absorbed through your skin, that they may be not only internalized, but that they may act as seeds planted within your conscious and subconscious mind and begin to create new neural pathways, new awarenesses, new ways of doing things. There, in the stillness of this moment, in the presence of your physical body, notice your heartbeat. Become aware also of your breath. we become consciously aware of these two inner rhythms within the physical body, the heartbeat and the breath. Both circular in nature, both integrally connected as one collaborates with the other. They cannot exist apart from each other. For in essence, they are one and an expression of the divine essence that powers your life. Breathe now into the heart. Letting the air flow all the way down to the stomach and then out. Breathing slowly, nice and deeply and evenly. Take a moment now to feel appreciation and gratitude. Feel appreciation for this life, for this moment, for all that you are, for all that you do, for all that you have. Let this feeling of gratitude and appreciation open your heart and soften the parts within the heart that need healing. With every breath, you let this feeling of gratitude and appreciation radiate from your heart, softening the head, the neck, the shoulders, letting go of any unnecessary tension in the physical body. And as you continue to breathe in and out, unifying the breath and the heartbeat, the heart and the mind, allow me to speak the following prayer on your behalf. I speak it in first person as a way to unite us, all of us, in one consciousness. That this may not only be my prayer, but the prayer of every person here today. In the name of our beloved Father, Mother God, in the name of the Son, in the name of the Holy Spirit. In the name of my beloved I Am Presence and my Holy Christ Self, I tune in, connect, and unify my heart to the infinitely loving heart of God, the central Son, the Father, Grandfather, and Great-Grandfather of the great central Son, the source of it all, the beginning and the end. And I let my heartbeat unify with the heartbeat of God. Know that where I am, God is, life is, love is, tenderness is, peacefulness, joy, willingness, healing, harmony and truth shining supremely in my heart as a result of this connection. I take a moment to acknowledge all that it's taken me to be here today, to arrive at this place of my life journey. Remembering who I am, remembering that I am more than this physical body, remembering that I am more than my thoughts, my feelings, or my personality. I am more than what happened to me last year or any time before that. I am not my traumas. I am not my money. I am not my bank account. I am not my career. I am none of that. For my true essence is none of this world. My true essence is eternal, and nothing and no one can destroy it. With every breath, I draw the life force that emanates straight from the heart of God. And I allow the presence of God to increase and magnify within me. Secretly and silently, I say, let God be magnified in me. Let love be magnified in me. Let willingness be magnified in me. Let prosperity and wealth be magnified in me. For I am, together with God, co-creating this life experience by virtue of my choices and my actions. And so it is from this place that I declare right here and right now that 2023 is a year of wonderful surprises, new friendships, and true love. This is the year my dreams are finally coming true. I now choose to show up each day as the best version of myself. I believe in myself and I trust the divine plan for my life. I now choose to follow my heart 100% of the time. Miracles of healing, abundance, and success are the order of each day. The perfect vision for my life is already accomplished. Gratefully, I declare this the truth of my life and of every person here today. Knowing that there's nothing to do, no one to be, nothing to gain, but simply be present and available to the infinitely vast resources that become available to us when we tune in and connect with our hearts. It is through the heart that I access my intuition. It is through the heart that I access my Christ self. It is through the heart that I can transcend my addictions of self-sabotaging behaviors. It is through the heart that I can integrate my shadows, take back my progressions, and reclaim my true self. For I know that within the heart there is a presence. It's a smaller replica of what God is in the macro. Within the heart, there's a divine spark. Within the heart, there's a three flame burning brightly always. I appeal to this flame now, and once again, I declare, let God be magnified inside my heart. Let the Christ flame within blaze and blaze. Let my divine purpose manifest here and now. And let it all be done according to God's will. And so it is, and it is so. We take a moment now to expand and radiate this heart energy to every person who's here with us today. Send it out. See it going out across the world as we connect our hearts to each other and help expand this planetary grid of unconditional love. We allow this energy to expand now beyond us, to include all our friends, our families, our loved ones, radiating it out, letting love go out and do what love does. Loves, nurtures, supports. We allow this love now to radiate even stronger, letting it flow now to all sentient beings. Anyone and everyone who's experiencing pain, suffering, confusion, sadness, grief. Our job is just to radiate it in the same way in which a candle radiates its light. Heavenly presence of God, let love, abundance, and prosperity be magnified in the life of Mary Rinaldi, who is recuperating from surgery. Let love, prosperity, and kindness expand in all of our hearts, in the heart of Ellen Hernandez, Jardine Kelly, Hitarta, Sky, Amanda, Danny, Cindy, John, Mariette, Shelley, Stella, Amelie, Simona, Maya, Irish, Leela, Stella, Lebo, Cindy, and everybody else who is here with us today, and anyone else who might be watching the replay. Know that through the heart we access a timeless dimension. Let this be the new awareness, the new place from which each and every one of us is now beginning to show up each day of this year. Knowing that when we show up from a place of love and appreciation, I create more things to love and more things to appreciate. I have greater access to creativity, new creative solutions to all problems. Knowing that love also creates miracles in our lives. Finally, I ask myself this question. What is it that I need to heal within myself in order to make this the best year yet? In order for me to really manifest my highest potential in this year, 2023, what is it that I need to heal? What is it that I need to let go of or change my relationship with? For many of us, this is a year that offers the opportunity to heal perhaps our relationship with a particular person. For others, it might be a relationship with the part of us that was wounded or felt betrayed at some point in the past or was hurt. For some others, it might be the relationship with a particular substance that we are abusing or using it as a way to escape. For some others, it might be the relationship with money, this thing we call abundance or prosperity. When you think of this more as an invitation to heal that relationship, for some of you, it might be the relationship with love. Some people have this idea or believe that love hurts. Love can never do that. Obviously, what we call relationships, where there might be fear and we may be acting from our ego self, yes, those can definitely create a lot of pain, can make the wounds and the trauma even worse, undoubtedly. But that's not what love is. So what is it that you need to heal? When you start coming back into the full presence of our awareness together, as we're wrapping up our time together, more aware of what is it that you need to heal within you so that you can create the kind of year, the kind of relationship, the kind of experiences that your heart is longing for. With the awareness that healing is all about wholeness. Okay, it's not necessarily about making it better. It's just about owning that aspect of yourself and, in essence, seeing that aspect of yourself through the eyes of compassion. Compassion offers kind of a softening that only love can. And so as a result of that, whatever it is that you thought you couldn't do, or you thought you couldn't have, or you thought that you were not worthy of, then suddenly begins to show up in your life simply by bringing in this awareness of self-love and self-compassion. All right, as we're bringing our time together to a close, let me ask you, what new insights, realizations, or awarenesses are you taking away with you today? What did you feel? What did you experience? What did you become absolutely clearer and more conscious about? These insights that we gain when we're meditating together or alone, or we spend time in nature, insights that show up sometimes in our dreams, very often hold the keys to the transformation and the healing many of us seek. So I invite you to really pay attention to these. If during these guided meditations you feel called to take some kind of an action, to call somebody, by all means, do that. Okay. All right, my beautiful friends, we come to the end of our time together. Next week, when we come back, we'll continue on this theme of the heart of a leader. And we're going to be talking about the way of the heart leader. Also, if you haven't already done that, please download the Heartstart 2023 guide. This is the invitation to complete this past year consciously and to really step into what I call your highest potential. The word potential comes from the word power. So step into your power. Begin to make choices that are coming from a place of love, compassion. What is best for you, not what you think or what other people think is best for you, but what you know in your heart. It's what you need, what you truly want to do, want to experience. It's available on my website, gabrielgonzalez.com. And it will be there available until the end of this month, okay? At the end of the month, I will be taking it down. So be sure to get it before I take it down. And finally, If you haven't signed up to receive notifications for these broadcasts, you can also sign up at my website. And as always, if you find these guided meditations, Heartstreams, or any of the other free offerings useful and you would like to express your appreciation, you can always make a donation in support of this work at my website. Okay, Amanda says she's feeling empowered and she's very grateful. Geraldine, she received a message of the importance of staying open. Simona was reminded to trust. Beautiful. Hisartha saying he's walking away feeling great. Cindy says this year is about living heart center, a return to living to what brings me joy. Yes, exactly. That's beautifully said. When people ask me, I'm going to remember that when people ask me very often, like, what does it mean to live from the heart? It means to live from your joy. Dana says, I want to love myself more. Thank you. You're very welcome. Okay, great. All right, my beautiful friends, thank you very much for hanging out with me this Wednesday. I wish you all a very joyful, prosperous, and amazing new year, 2023. May it be the year that you finally get to manifest that thing that you've been after for a very, very long time. And may you do it with the loving support of heaven and from the awareness that comes when you choose to show up fully, wholly, and wholeheartedly every moment and every day of your life. Focusing on how you show up versus what you will get. You can only get the place from where you come from. I'm sure there's a better way of saying that, but that's just kind of like the way that it came. All right. Until next week, please take care of yourself so that you can take care of others. And as always, I send you all my love from my heart to yours. Happy New Year and bye-bye for now. Ciao. Thank you for joining me in this week's Heartstream. I hope you're walking away feeling more connected to yourself and your divinity, to the planet, to others, and to all of life. Please be sure to subscribe so that you can receive notifications about upcoming broadcasts. And if you would like to sign up for my weekly newsletter, join the Heart Leader community, or register for my upcoming trainings and seminars, be sure to visit my website, gabrielgonsalves.com. Until the next time, please take care of yourself so that you can take care of others. And as always, I send you all my love from my heart to yours. Bye for now.